What's up guys, I'm Loomin with Ironhype Entertainment, and we are fresh off the heels of the newest World of Warcraft expansion announcement.
So, during the huge reveal, the developers revealed that we will get a sort of pre-expansion event at the Broken Shore, as well as some shocking lore development that will leave every single player that has played WoW in the last 5 to 10 years surprised and shocked. They then later point to the fact that after we land on the Broken Shore, we awaken to a world on fire. There was also the line that stated how the Horde and the Alliance are devastated after the events. Then, during the artifact reveal, they point to the fact that we will set out to reclaim lost artifacts of lore, some of which were known to be carried by popular lore figures. The general consensus going around lore forums and such is that we are about to witness one of the largest cullings this game has ever seen. I personally believe that in this upcoming expansion, we are going to see a lot of major NPC death. Whether this death comes from the massive invasion of demons on the Broken Shore, or even potential betrayals from both factions, let's take a few minutes and go over the implications and possibilities of some of our most notable NPC characters in World of Warcraft, and whether or not I personally think that they will live to fight another day, or perish tragically at the hands of the Burning Legion. Thrall. Ah yes, Thrall. The greatest hero that World of Warcraft has ever known. Surely Blizzard wouldn't kill off their beloved Thrall. There's absolutely no way that Chris Metzen would let his one true love die, right? Wrong. Every single thing that we've seen about Legion thus far points to the fact that Thrall will not survive this assault. Here's some of the evidence. One of the artifacts that Shaman players must gather and find is in fact Doomhammer, Thrall's famous mace. This seems to imply that Thrall fell in battle somewhere, and we must retrieve his incredible weapon of power for ourselves. As a side note, I've heard a few arguments against this, stating how there is another Doomhammer on alternate Draenor and Talador lying around. I believe that this is false though, as the pictures of the Doomhammer artifact specifically show the markings of the Frostwolf clan, which was the Doomhammer utilized by Thrall. Another piece of supporting evidence comes from the fact that Chris Metzen himself is now primarily working on Overwatch, and has pretty much left the World of Warcraft development team. This at least opens the gate for the other story developers to make a move. I'm guessing that there is a 90% chance that Thrall dies. Blizzard seems to be catering to almost every request in this expansion, and we've heard the Kill Thrall request ever since Cataclysm. Sure, I suppose you could argue that perhaps Thrall gives up against the Legion and gives us Doomhammer, but that goes totally against his character. Unless, of course, Agri. Thrall's wife Agri is killed during the invasion. What better way to completely crush a spirit than to have Thrall's beloved spouse perish in front of his eyes? Blizzard could really get dark here, and even go as far as not only killing Agri, but also killing off his child as well. While gruesome, I really feel as though this could make Thrall a much more interesting character, as well as Blizzard showing that they are not afraid to completely shake things up and delve into the darker side of the repercussions of war. This would definitely cause Thrall to lose hope, which in turn would give us Doomhammer without his death really being needed. I predict the likelihood of Agri's death to be pretty contingent on whether or not her husband dies. If he does die, she will most likely live, and vice versa. Although it's also possible that Thrall's baby becomes an orphan and is raised by some other prominent lore figure if Thrall and Agri do die. With that in mind, I give Agri a death likelihood of about 30%, and then of course 90% if Thrall does manage to survive. Varian. Let's go over to the Alliance side for a few moments. We saw in the trailer that Anduin has really grown up and is evolved into Manduin. If you also check out the website for the new expansion, it shows Anduin as being one of the major lore characters of Legion, along with a somewhat chilling description. This heavily hints to the fact that his father Varian dies, and that he himself will have to deal with his anger and pacifism as the new king. We have seen huge character development from Anduin over the last few years, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Anduin become the new king of Stormwind and potentially fall into his role as the leader of the Army of Light. I believe that Varian has around a 75% chance to die in this expansion simply because of the development of Anduin. Tyrann. Isn't it a bit interesting how an expansion rich in Night Elven lore doesn't feature Tyrann on the website as one of the major lore characters? This one's kind of reaching a bit, but the death of Tyrann could be just enough momentum to cause Illidan to pledge allegiance with us. The death of Tyrann would infuriate Illidan, and I can see this leading to him betraying the very same demons who revived him yet killed his one true love. I give Tyrann a 40% chance of dying just because it fits the lore reasonably enough. Tyrion. This is another fairly popular choice, particularly due to the reveals during the livestream. Blizzard basically said that Retribution Paladins will pick up Ashbringer from the Broken Shore. This implies that Tyrion most likely dies on the beach, as Ashbringer was his weapon. He most likely will hold off a few hundred demons, or sacrifice himself in some way. I predict that Tyrion has a 99.9% chance of dying. His story was wrapped up nicely in Wrath of the Lich King, and he really fulfilled his purpose by slaying Arthas. He was also unmentioned when discussing the Paladin class hall under Light's Hope Chapel. We haven't seen much of him since Wrath of the Lich King, so this would be a great recognizable character to kind of bring back and then kill off as part of an oh crap kind of moment. Sylvanas and Jen Greymane. There are quite a few people who think that both these characters will be killed off at the beginning of Legion. However, I think that Sylvanas and Jen are both much more likely to live. It really seems as though Blizzard is building up another war over in the Eastern Kingdoms between the two, but since they are listed as major lore characters on the website, I believe they will both survive, at least at first. Couple this with their new character models, I predict that both of these faction leaders have about a 10% chance of dying. I just think there's too much unexplored lore for both of these prominent figures to kill them so quickly. I can also see Jen becoming sort of a mentor for Anduin after his father dies. The other racial leaders. Rather than going over each one individually, I think that it is definitely possible that Blizzard goes into Game of Thrones mode and decides to kill off most of the racial leaders. This list includes Vol'jin, Bane, Lor'themar, Gallywix, G. Firepaw, Mechatork, the Council of the Three Hammers, Velen, and Asa's Cloudsinger. Wiping out all or most of these racial leaders really allows for other notable characters, such as Sunwalker Dezco, to step into the limelight and get their own lore. It would also be a major way to show how serious this invasion is, and prove that it's not just another Iron Horde, not really a threat kind of threat. It's kinda hard to judge exactly which ones might be killed off, so I'll just give this a 50% chance overall for each member. This would definitely fit the definition of devastation to the Horde and the Alliance. Alright guys, so as you know, there are just so many major lore figures in the game currently, and it would take literal hours to go over each one specifically. Therefore, I'm just going to end the video here, but still, I would love to hear from anyone watching this speculation video. Is there any major lore figure that I left off this list who you think won't survive? Please let me know in the comments below and why you think they just won't make it. Also, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe for more awesome lore videos and speculation on the newest World of Warcraft expansion, Legion. Thanks guys, see you later.